Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks. You know what that means? It is time for a new video, baby. Welcome back to the channel. Or if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be using this and this to make a project. And by make a project, I mean we're going to makey makey a project, which is the coolest invention ever. And I'm going to go over like the wiring and all of that fun stuff and how I made the thing that we're going to show today. We're going to use tinfoil and the Makey Makey to make a fun little Valentine's Day project because it's February, and if you got a significant other or your mom or something you love like an Xbox or a plant, good for you. Spread the love. And we're going to make a video out of that. So I'm going to go do that now and we're going to get cooking. So here's a little time lapse of setting it up. And maybe I'll go over the process, or just, here's a time lapse. Let's cut to it, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna go over a commentary of what is happening on the floor. So on the floor, the Makey Makey works with jumper cables, and then the jumper cables connect to the Makey Makey and a conductor. So the conductor, the easiest conductor you could get is tinfoil. That is the cheapest, best material you could use if you're not installing it for an installation. I was doing it for fun. So the jumper cables connect to the Makey Makey, and the Makey Makey has arrows and like WSD keys that the jumper cables connect to. So when you touch something on the Makey Makey like I'm doing here, it makes the interaction happen on the computer. So the Makey Makey plugs into the computer and whatever program you're using and allows the interaction to happen. So I'm just wiring it up on the floor, making sure it's all good. So I have it mapped to the left key, the right key, and then ground. You always need a ground because if you're touching one tinfoil and the ground, it will make it work. If you're just touching the ground, nothing will happen. If you're just touching the tinfoil, that's the left arrow key, and not the ground, nothing will happen. So the basis behind the idea is I will stand on the ground and the left arrow, and then Emma will hold my hand and stand on the right side, which will connect the ground, and the interaction will happen. So we're just wiring that up, making sure it's good, and making sure all the logic's good in the code, so when we run it, it will work out. So that's just us troubleshooting it on the floor. It's fun, get a Makey Makey, it's good times. So that was my little spiel about the Makey Makey, and yeah, let's get back to wiring. Okay, so before we go over the rest of the project, I want to go over what was making the project. So I use this coding language called Scratch, which is an open source coding language developed by the people from the MIT Media Lab. It was one of their senior projects. I think it went along with the Makey Makey, which is why they integrate so well, and allows you to create your own interactive stories, games, and animations with no code at all. It's all done on these logic puzzle pieces, and there's motion, look, sound, events, all of that stuff, and you just have to stack the puzzle pieces together to get it to work. You don't need any coding language. It was developed for like kindergartners, and it's a very fun language to get started in. If you're like, I don't want to code, but I want to make something interactive, you can make it happen in Scratch. So it works really well with the Makey Makey, so I used it from one of my classes last year, and it was a big hit, and for Valentine's Day I was thinking about hearts and interaction and all of that fun stuff and how we can make it work. So I dusted off the Makey Makey and opened up Scratch, and I came up with this idea. So basically, if you run the program, nothing's happening. We have 3 loops happening, and it's an if loop. If the left arrow is pressed, something will happen. It's an if loop. If the right arrow is pressed, something will happen. And if nothing is pressed, nothing will happen. So you can see on the top right, nothing is happening over there. Therefore, no one's grounded, no one's touching the left or the space with the Makey Makey. So if someone touched the ground and the left arrow with the Makey Makey, it makes half a heart. And if someone holds your hand and reaches over to you, because you're sad by yourself, you can make a full heart and interaction, Makey Makey, Scratch coding. It was very easy to make this. There's no coding involved, no if statements, it is just this and the puzzle pieces. The best part is if the logic doesn't work out, you can't put the puzzle pieces together. And also, all of this is open source, and you could share your projects on the internet. You could go crazy, download other people's projects. People make Flash animations and like Mario Maker games, and it's just a good time. So if you want to learn how to make something interactive and don't necessarily know P5.js or a coding language, you could do it in Scratch. So that was basically the logic behind the project and what goes into the Makey Makey reading. This is what the Makey Makey is reading when you're touching it on the floor. So we're gonna go back to the regular video, but that is just the logic and a little spiel about Scratch. So let's keep it moving. Okay, so for this part of the video, we are just troubleshooting the projector and making sure that the projector is where we want it to be. So the Makey Makey is all set up on the floor, it's wired, and it's running to my computer, and it's running the code, and then the code exports to the projector. So right now we're just making sure that the heart's good and fits perfectly in between our arms, so the shot is perfect for the final product. So we're just troubleshooting that right now, and we just want to make sure it's all good before we move on to the final version. And after wiring, coding, and setting up the projector, we get our final version of the project, which is this little interaction, and when I hold Emma's hand, it makes a heart. It was just a simple little idea with the Makey Makey, and I think it came out great, and it was a fun little project for Valentine's Day. This is different than the work I normally show off and make on the channel, and I'm very happy with how it came out. I might film it a little differently next time, but there's a first time for everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. If you're bored, maybe get a Makey Makey. Hang out with your mom, make something. Hang out with your girlfriend, make something. Who knows? It's a really fun little tool, and I hope you guys learned something new and enjoyed the project. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and yeah, that's me signing off for now. See you later. Peace.